This is a long story, so let's get into it right away. Born on October 4th, 1931, Basil D'Oliveira was a budding all-rounder in South Africa's domestic circuit. At 16, he scored 225 in his team's total of 236 in a non-white provincial tournament. However, as he was approaching his 20s, the racial practices in the country were also on a rise. D'Oliveira wasn't white, and his chances of a cricketing career in South Africa were next to none. Hence, D'Oliveira wrote to John Arlott, a famous commentator, seeking any opportunities for a seamless cricket career in England. He received a positive reply and moved to England. From club cricket, he graduated to county cricket. From there on, he made it to the England Test team at the age of 34, after acquiring citizenship. It would be impossible if he was still in his native nation. The main story begins here. In 1968, D'Oliveira scored 87, not out in the first Ashes test, in a losing cause. Yet, he was dropped. The reason stated was that his bowling wasn't good enough. But there was more to the story. England were supposed to tour South Africa next. SA were not playing any cricket against teams with non-white players. Hence, D'Oliveira's bowling was an excuse for England to escape controversy. SA's Minister of External Affairs also said, "We will not allow mixed teams to play our white teams here. Our policy is well known." MCC's head also asked D'Oliveira if he could make himself unavailable to tour SA. D'Oliveira rightly said no. Fast forward to the fifth test versus Aus. D'Oliveira was included in the squad, but was the last in line to be a part of the 11th. A day before the match, 3 England players were deemed unfit to play, exactly the number of injuries D'Oliveira needed to break in the 11th. He scored 158, which helped England draw the series. He made himself undroppable from the squad when everyone else wanted him on the sidelines, just through his bat. Yet, he was dropped. It led to a furore in the country. John Arlott refused to commentate in the series. The Britishers supported him when his own country of birth didn't. By fate, another injury in the camp brought D'Oliveira in the squad. SA's PM said it is not the team of England, but a team of anti-apartheid movement. The tour was called off. The whole episode came to be known as the OliveiraAffair. When SA were scheduled to tour England in 1970, another round of protests ceased the tour. Similar events cancelled SA's following tour of Australia, and ultimately, they were banned from international cricket, without any readmission until 1991. D'Oliveira's 158 in 1968 was the stepping stone to send SA into a suspension of more than 2 decades. Talk about turning the table from a time when D'Oliveira wasn't allowed to prosper in his country of birth for similar unfair reasons. England and South Africa ultimately resumed their test rivalry in 1994. Since 2004, the two countries have been playing each other in test cricket for the Basil D'Oliveira Trophy. In 2000, D'Oliveira was named by South Africa as one of their top 10 cricketers of the century, without ever playing for them. There is a lot of similarity between D'Oliveira and Kevin Peterson. Like D'Oliveira, KP also came to England from SA. Clive Rice did what John Arlott did in D'Oliveira's case, and KP also scored 158 in the 5th test of his first Ashes series. Only difference, in KP's case, the tide was against the white cricketers. D'Oliveira died in 2011, aged 80. At present, his grandson, Brett D'Oliveira, is a consistent performer in county cricket. Sports are meant to inspire people, and D'Oliveira did just that, by simply doing his job. His refusal to the MCC secretary instigated cricket's first move against racism. If there is any cricketing story every cricket fan should tell to their kids, It is this one.